In the first video, we took apart my MacBook Pro and turned it into a screenless Mac. If you haven't seen that video, I highly suggest you check it out. We found out that we wouldn't have any Wi-Fi or Bluetooth connection, so we got to work and fixed that up. Now, here we're going to finalize everything to comfortably enjoy the entirety of this piece of tech. In this area, we can see that antenna housing bracket is moving quite a bit, which we don't really want to be happening. So in this video, we're going to be working on stabilizing that so that it doesn't pose any threat to breaking that housing or the antenna itself, because we wouldn't want to break that antenna and all that work that we put into connecting our Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. There's 3 screws, but there's no bracket behind that. In this video, we're going to be getting the bracket from the display that we left, and we're going to put that in to stabilize everything in this MacBook Pro. Once we have the back case opened, we're going to be working in this area of the computer. We're going to be taking off those 3 screws as our primary things, and if you did have any electrical tape or anything blocking that, you can just take it off for now. And then we have our T8 screw, and we're going to go ahead and unscrew those 3 screws right down where the bracket is going to go. Now keep in mind that these screws are going to be reused on top of the bracket, so once we have the bracket in place, make sure to use exactly these screws. We are going to have to remove one more thing before accessing the cable and putting that metal bracket back into place, which is going to require one of the pentalobe screwdrivers, which I'll show you right now. So you'll see that one small screw, and we're going to be taking that bracket out. This is a tiny piece of metal, or bracket rather, so make sure you keep that in place because we are going to be reinstalling that after we are done this whole entire thing. I do see a little bit of that dust, so I'm going to try and take that out, but here I am failing to take that out. It was really stuck in the crevice, so I just ended up leaving it. Whatever. This is the display data cable that we did take off before. It is usually the one that displays visuals onto the screen. However, we did remove that obviously, but there's that little bracket that we're still going to need to take advantage of in order to secure the antenna bracket. There is a little black piece that you can be taking out, which is obviously something you can take out and put back in, so don't worry about forcing it out. Just make sure you don't break anything while you're trying to do it. So it is supposed to be taken out, so don't worry about it. It can also be moved back and forth, but I did end up just taking it out later into this video because it was blocking my access into getting the display data cable through. Since we're not going to be using the data cable, I just did end up deciding to cut it off using scissors and just cleaned it up, the cables, as it was a pretty thick cable to cut off, so just kept on snipping it away. Do not worry about anything happening to the actual computer, as this is a component of the display, so if you were to buy a new display, you could totally just replace everything and nothing would be damaged. I did forget to disconnect the battery connector earlier, which is always important to do. Just as a measure of caution, we'll just go ahead and disconnect that. The display data cable is much thicker than the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connecting cables, as the Wi-Fi and Bluetooth ones had 3 separate cables and they were all just much thinner. The display data cable, as probably needed, it is very thick, so it was very difficult to take it in and fit it into the antenna bracket. As you did see, I did take off that black bracket to create some more space. I ended up just time-lapsing all my efforts trying to get it to fit in and aligning the bracket into its original place. It was not something easy to do, so bear in mind you might need to have a bit of patience, or you might be lucky to just fit it perfectly within the antenna bracket, but for me personally, it just wasn't something that I wanted to get in. So here I am, still struggling trying to fit that in, but I did figure out that you could kind of slide the bracket left and right to create some more leeway and fit it in. I was using my screwdriver to line it up with the holes, and well, not exactly worked very well, but towards the end I did end up successfully fitting it and lining everything up. Once I did end up getting that into the bracket, everything aligned, I did decide that the display cable, honestly I could just cut both ends of it. So I already cut the right side of it, and I'll cut the connecting side as well. There's really no point of connecting it back into the computer, but I'll go ahead and do that later in the video. Since everything's aligned, we can go ahead and take 3 screws and put them back in place. Just plugging it in for now, and then as I mentioned earlier, we'll just cut it out. The last thing we're gonna have to put in place is that small metal bracket that you can see over here. So we're gonna go ahead and fix that back into place using that screw. So I just took out the display data cable, grabbed my scissors, went ahead and just cut it. Once we cut the cable, it was just sticking out a little bit, so I did decide to use a screwdriver and just push it into place into a more organized manner. I was noticing that my antenna bracket was kind of falling down from the black long bracket, so then decide to grab some more electrical tape and fix it back into place. So I would recommend go ahead, if you see this and notice this as well, to grab some more electrical tape and secure it back into place, as you don't want anything to be poking out and potentially breaking, and it's just a good safety measure to have in general, so you're not, again, breaking anything. If you take a look, you can see that most things are really secure in place on both sides, so that is really good to see. And if you push it backwards, you'll see that it's not really moving, which is exactly what you want to happen. You can go ahead and put the screw covers back on place, on both sides, on the left and right. Then we can go ahead and reconnect our battery and screw in that back plate. Nobody really wants to see me screwing it back into place, so we'll hit a time lapse. Once we flip our MacBook right on over, we'll see the nice and sleek design. Everything looks perfectly good. Let's take a look. As usual, we're just going to double check to see if everything's working. We got our battery connected finally, and if we didn't screw anything up. Go ahead, connect it to our external display, power it on, and hit that power button. Hear the sound of that Apple startup, and we'll let it start to boot up. We're back into the home login screen, so once we go ahead and log in, we can see that our Wi-Fi and Bluetooth is also working, so don't gotta worry about that. That's the end of the series. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like and subscribe, hit that notification bell. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks a ton for watching.